expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Maga matters. Captain James McCormick and author Greg Meakin prove why making America great again matters. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Mega Matters with Greg Meakin and Captain James McCormick starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around. You're never gonna stop because you never settle down.
Boy, I love that introduction. Mega Matters on America Matters Media. Welcome, welcome. My name is Greg Meakin. I will be your host today. Monologue, long form, 1 full hour, jam-packed, full of fun. We got a great chat room on this broadcast for you folks that are live streaming and stuff. And feel free to pop in the chat and to opine. Anyone in the chat, please tell me where you're from. We've got such an amazing reach, not only on, of course, this network, Eddie Floyd's Network America Matters Media, but on my network, our networks, if you will, Captain James McCormick. Special shout out before I really start here. Special shout out to Captain James McCormick, who, if anyone doesn't know who he is, he's our resident 3-time Purple Heart, a war hero. He doesn't like me calling him that, but he's a war hero. He and I generally do team shows side by side. He's much, much better looking than I am, as he'll tell you. And unfortunately, I got a doctor's note from Captain McCormick. He's in congressional hearings today. Congressional hearings, everybody. James is the former national commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, personal friend of Donald J. Trump, George W. Bush, one of those guys. And James has a fabulous show, Continue Mission Radio, on Friday nights, which really listen to that show. Sometime it's fabulous, and it's with all our amazing veterans. So many incredible veterans out there in the world. And many of whom are on this network or affiliated with this network. But welcome to everybody. Welcome everybody there. I'm coming from sunny Arizona today. As I say, James and I we've done over 20 shows together. A good friend in the chat here, Val Olson, early bird in the chat. Val and I have also done, closing on 50 shows together. I've done over 100 radio shows in the last year and a half or so, and I have absolutely no clue why I'm continuing to be asked on radio. But anyhow, welcome to everybody. I'll be taking some time and doing some shout outs and stuff as this hour progresses. But my first question of the day to everybody out there is, am I the only old married guy who's completely frightened of his wife? Okay, that's my first question of the day. James and I have had a few episodes in the past where we've chatted about that. He taught me what household 6 means. I did not realize household 6 in the military was your commander. So James McCormick's household 6 is named Heather. And my household 6, the commander, and as I put in my book, I'll be talking about my book a little bit on the cover page, the boss of the project, my wonderful household 6, Deborah Meakin. So welcome to everybody. I'm so looking forward to visiting the folks in the chat, visiting people that keep in touch. And I'm really looking forward to really connecting with everybody. There's so much nonsense and garbage going on in the world right now. One thing I promised myself is I would not say one word about that You know, that sun thingy that happened. I'm not even going to say those words. I'm so sick and tired of it. But let's get to new stuff. Let's get to fun stuff. One thing that's kind of different about this, just kind of my style on radio, is I'm most folks know I've been around a million years. James will remind you of that. James once said, I'm the only guy he knows that's so old I used to sign my name with a feather. So we've had a few of those conversations over the years, but shout out real quick before I even start again to Val Olson in the chat. She's coming from sunny Florence, Arizona. Goodness, Dave in the chat. Sunny Phoenix. Boy, I tell you, lots of action happening in Phoenix right now in case people weren't aware. We'll cover that more again later in the show. But on the completely frightened husband issue, seriously, I talk a lot about fatherhood, mentorship, manhood. So much missing these days. Goodness, manhood. That's a conversation for another day. But we have some of these chats, and what I've kind of concluded, really becoming an older guy, is I think most men think that they are caring. Okay, there's a difference between caring and thoughtful. Okay. Caring, and most men I know say, hey, I'm caring, I love my wife, take care of the family and kids and all that stuff, but maybe aren't thoughtful. Thoughtful is taking out the garbage on time before you get that look, maybe putting up the coffee or what have you. So I think a lot of men are caring, but maybe not thoughtful. And James McCormick, God, I'm digressing already, but James McCormick and I had a phone conversation last week, and he had said, Greg, I'm West Virginia accent. Greg, I'm getting more thoughtful as an older guy. I like being an older guy. He's like 56, that another time. But he said, I'm getting a little more thoughtful as I get older. And I said, BS, Captain, BS. We're not thoughtful as old guys. We're scared. We're scared. We're scared because we don't want to get the look again if we're a little late to take out the garbage or what have you. So welcome everybody to Maga Matters on America Matters Media Network. Fun stuff going on in the chat. I'll be back and forth with you guys today. Throwing it out there for kind of topics. I'm from a world of long form radio, which is, usually overnight radio. Oh, by the way, if you see me in a referee's jersey right here with blah, 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 see me, that's my brand. It's called Dueling Citizens. And if you look behind me, these are book covers. These are covers of my book. And it's so funny. I love this side over here. That's why, look at it. I'm terrible on the camera. There's my current book right there. Why I Came to America and What I Think Now. That is long sold out, but that is now available on ebook. $5 on ebook. Why I Came to America and What I Think Now. But I do the referee jersey. Which is, I like to start the fight, especially with politics, and then break it up. So there you go, Dueling Citizens. I'm really thrilled to be here today. Really, really thrilled to be here today. Looks like we're coming up to a break. I thank so much. Our on the board today, Shanimal. I love that name, Shanimal. We'll talk about that. And of course, Eddie Floyd, who we've chatted with this morning on the network. Thank you so much for letting me be here today, hosting here today. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. If I've digressed or turn corners here as we've come along, because there's just a lot to talk about, a lot of things on.
Barbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen, would like to thank every customer for your loyalty and continued support through these challenging times. Call for takeout and delivery of rib tips, brisket, ahi, tuna, roasted veggies, and much more. Barbecue's open from 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and delivers hot food safe and healthy. Call 499-5855 for details. 499-5855 Barbecue, as featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Get real. Get into Barbecue Reno.
At a Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, we've been accomplishing happy feet for over 30 years.
We offer a various range of shoe styles and sizes for both men and women. From all-season shoes and orthotics to work boots and safety shoes, our professional and reliable staff possesses the knowledge to help you find the proper shoes to fit your needs. Hard to fit? Hard to find?
A Proper Fit Footwear is here to give our customers happy feet. We make people aware of potential foot problems as we're sizing their feet, suggesting the right arch support, and guiding them to the proper shoes for their needs.
Stop by a Proper Fit Footwear at 4001 South Virginia Street in the Reno Town Mall today, and allow the owner Mike Jones and our fabulous staff to find the perfect pair of shoes tailored to your specific needs.
A Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, the home of happy feet, where comfort and your feet meet.
Talking to Victor from Precision Diamonds. Victor, I remember you in the old days, Park Lane Mall, a kiosk. It's a lot different now, isn't it?
Man, that was a long time ago. 1988, we've been blessed that we've been guided, and finally we have bought an amazing building across the street from the convention center. We found a better way to serve you. You know, we call it home. We managed to create amazing energy. And when we say welcome to the family, boy, we really mean it.
It is a family affair.
Absolutely. And we couldn't have done it without our wonderful customers who believed in us for all of 27 years. So I'm here to really say thanks to all of our wonderful family members who we started as customers, who now we know each other's children's and grandchildren.
All those years ago, a little kiosk in Park Lane Mall. Park Lane Mall's not there anymore, but you are still here.
Yeah, we have solidified our future by buying this beautiful building on Virginia Street. So we're there to serve you.
Thank you, Victor. Precision Diamonds, your local jeweler across from the convention center.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Maga Matters. Welcome back to Maga Matters with Greg Meakin. And possibly in weeks down the road, shows down the road, we'll have Captain James McCormick here. We'll have other guests here too. Today was an amazing day, busy day, because everyone's on the run. Everybody I know is on the run. We'll have possible drop-ins down the road. Folks like Sheriff Mark Lamb might drop in. Of course, Captain James McCormick will always be invited to the show. You never know down the road. We might even welcome Mr. Eddie Floyd in here too. You never know. You never know what the wind blows in now and then, right? Anyhow, awesome to see everybody in this chat. This is so cute. I say cute, that's a great word. Val, we got a Senate race coming up in Arizona. Every home that I polled in the neighborhood is voting Sheriff Lamb. I want to address that kind of before we go on to other things. Kind of cool. There are a lot of races going on around the country. A lot of them, of course. We've got primaries coming up, both on the Republican and Democrat side, and of course we have that silly thing happening November 5th, which is the general election. Everybody, of course, is gearing up for that. My question to those folks, to my dear Democrat friends, is as people get to know me, they'll know I deal with multicultural language people. I'm a dual citizen, Canada and the U.S., U.S. born, raised in Canada, back to the U.S. as a Republican where things make sense. But there's a lot of stuff. There are a lot of things happening out there in terms of primaries and Senate races. The big deal in Arizona, it obviously, is we've got the big concern overall is that Arizona does not turn blue. Okay, blue. A lot of folks, of course, in different states are not familiar with local politics and stuff. But Arizona, one of the senators right now in the Senate, I call him the astronaut. One of them, Mark Kelly. I'm just gonna say, kind of bought himself a Senate seat last time around, and the second seat coming up is going to be between either Republican Carrie Lake and Sheriff Mark Lamb versus the Democrat, which is Ruben Gallego. Write that name down. His commercials make him look like a really, really nice family guy. But I'll tell you what, I won't get too edgy on the air right now, but Ruben Gallego is not the senator for Arizona if we can do anything about it down here. Policies are awful. He wanted this terrible immigration bill. This is just an awful bill that allowed 5,000 people a day in nonsense, complete nonsense. So down here, we've got the big question is Carrie Lake versus Mark Lamb. Everybody has been talking about Carrie Lake. She's got the national media's attention, good or bad. She definitely had a lot of questions about the election, the last election, as most people know. The quiet name out there, believe it or not, is Sheriff Mark Lamb. I'm trying to get, and thanks Val again for that question. I'm trying to get my mitts on this because Carrie's getting all the press, yet Mark, everything I am hearing is Mark is doing fabulous. Mark Lamb behind the scenes, and I've said this before, and I've said this for a number of months since last year. My prediction is a Sheriff Lamb victory. I will support either Val. I'll support either Carrie Lake or Sheriff Lamb going up against this Democrat dude. This guy's a Marxist loser. I'm just telling you, some of these policies I just can't believe. So there's that a little bit. There's some inside scoop and stuff, but I'm going to watch very carefully, not only here, but around the other states, just polling and because I really do believe that there's a wave back. I'm going to say to 1950s handshake world. The last couple of years, especially, every common sense person I know is just sick of the nonsense and the garbage going on in politics and the media. So many people come up to me, and say, Greg, can we even fix this mess? Can we even fix this mess? And my sense, I've been telling everybody, I think November 5th is an existential fork in the road for the United States of America, for our culture, for our Constitution, for our way of life. I believe it's a fork in the road. Boy, I'm getting passionate and emotional already, but it's a fork in the road where whether we want to get back to some realm of common sense, or whether indeed we're just going to veer off European, Canadian style. God love you, Canadians, my friends up there. I'm half Canadian. Half my friends are in Canada, but I cannot believe, okay, I'll say it, I cannot believe the grease fire that's going on in my beloved Canada in the last couple of years, really since COVID. So, man, it went off the rails already. Here we go. Everybody, feel free again to opine in the chat. This is kind of a little wrap up of Arizona, where again we'll be watching Mark Lamb versus Carrie Lake. And feel free to opine, anybody, if there are other racers out there. I know Captain McCormick's really passionate about politics in West Virginia. So much stuff, same thing going on back there. So much stuff going on, and once again, big primaries come up. Even folks who don't feel like, who've never voted or don't feel like voting or don't think they have a say in something, whatever. I would just ask you, even if it's just this year, can either vote securely by mail or at the polls with your upcoming primaries. I'm going to be casting my vote for Sheriff Mark Lamb. If Carrie Lake beats him, I hope she concedes. I do hope she concedes and moves on if she indeed does lose that race. But I'll be supporting her if she's running for the Senate. I'll be supporting Mark if he's running for the Senate. But folks around the country do indeed pay attention and lift a finger, as they say. It's time to vote because honestly, especially what we saw in this last election, we won't say the word election fraud. Are you kidding me? Anyhow, what we saw last time is, my feeling is, and I think the president, at least Donald Trump, has said this before, and many Republicans have said it, we need to win in overwhelming numbers. We need the word landslide to come into play. The numbers that Ron DeSantis has produced the last couple of elections, that kind of thing, where at least there hopefully will be more cut and dry winner and loser this time around. I reach out to all of my dear Democrat friends, and I'd love to hear from you. I love talking to my liberals. I know Canadian liberals, Canadian conservatives, NDP. I know Democrats down here. I know liberals down here. I know libertarians down here. I know, as I say, Nader Greenies. Do you remember Nader Greenies? And it's my feeling that can we all, dueling citizens, can we all come together? I believe people agree on 80% of stuff in life. We all come together, achieve common ground, have a civil conversation, and hopefully come to agreement on moving forward. And if not, shake hands and go away friends. But that type of civil discourse, I'm kind of ranting. I guess it's my show. I get to rant. But that type of civil discourse, of course, is missing. It's missing in the country. It's missing in the press, blah, 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 blah. So if anything, I encourage everybody to reach, and I'm not saying reach across party lines, et cetera. It's time to win elections by landslides. But other than that, to at least be able to come to common ground and have a civil conversation. Everyone's saying it, but saying, how come we're so divided? Oh, we're so divided. And then they say something divisive, so there you go. Looking at the chat again, thank you, Dave in Phoenix. Got a couple of Arizona folks here. That's so fun. But whether we're talking politics, whether we're talking other stuff, because what I prefer, I actually don't like talking politics. I'm the first to kind of admit that but I seem to be drawn to it. But I love to talk about other things, talk about that everyone's so concerned about. And yes, prices, inflation, and the nonsense. But I love talking about healthcare and ways to fix that. I like to talk about the border, and yes, ways to fix that. I like to talk about our military and our veterans. I love to talk education. There's some education models around the country that I just love. I love Arizona's kind of quote voucher, school voucher program where kids, moms and dads get a choice, usually anywhere from 3 to 5 schools. All paid for, just like public education, but the schools are competing for the kids' business, and the money is paid directly to the parents. Just like in the medical world, I think money should be paying directly to the patient, and then you go ahead and do your shopping and make your decisions as far as your own providers and stuff. So definitely getting a lot of words in here and kind of digressing and stuff. But once again, welcome to Maga Matters. This airs every Wednesday, or actually it's Wednesdays. Today was 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. It's scheduled to go every other week, so the second and last Wednesday of each month. I'm sure there'll be some dynamic there, though, as far as future shows and stuff, because we've been having some great conversations as far as maybe partnering and doing some other radio gigs and stuff together. So it should be really, really fun. The big thing I do get, honestly, every day from people, because I do radio, I do writing. My website, by the way, is gregmeakin.com. I'm an author, coming up with my 4th book here. But my website's gregmeakin.com. You can find my writing, my trending articles and stuff, and also my bio. Who the heck is this guy? Who's this guy with the referee's jersey on? But do always be on my website. And, we'll let the music kind of roll out. Take up the break.
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Bookhound Radio Show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man in the Map, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
You hear it all the time. Buy local, think local, eat local, choose local, grow local. But who the heck really is local? You can shop with locals at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall and search for locals at buynevadafirst.com. We're all local all the time.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
In times of market volatility, it can be a good reminder to revisit your financial strategies to make sure they align with your goals. Call 775-674-2222 or visit nvretirementplanners.com. Advisory services are offered through Nevada Retirement Planners, an investment advisor in the state of Nevada. Any insurance products and services are offered through Nevada Senior Advisors. Nevada Retirement Planners are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency. Nevada Retirement Planners does not provide legal or tax advice.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Boy, I love that music. I love that music. Nice. Very nice to hear.
Call 84.
Yep, very nice to hear Eddie promoting his passion there. That's great. Welcome back to Maga Matters. Maga Matters with Greg Meakin. And yeah, again, fun stuff going on in the chat. So much for everybody to talk about. So much. Some people are so concerned about so many things. I want to segue, if I can, a little bit away from politics. I want to talk, if we can, because this applies to everybody. Is I have a passion. I've been a car manager for the last kind of 40 years and stuff, and I was trained by Toyota. I worked for a number of manufacturers: Toyota, Honda, Saturn. I worked in the RV business and stuff. I was a finance guy, but I was trained by Toyota in the past about managing the generations. At the time, and I'm talking 20 years ago, it was really a big issue coming up as far as the different age groups. Right now, when we talk 2024, it's a generation. It's an era where we're going to have six generations in the workplace, the same workplace. It applies to the military and stuff because we're dealing with the generations. If you go from the top, you're talking about lots of our seniors, the greatest generation, World War II generation. And we're talking the baby boomers, of course, like me, yours truly. And we're talking Gen X, the Generation X's, which I say are kind of running the world right now. Those are kids in their 40s and 50s running by the seat of their pants, Gen X. And then, of course, you have the millennials. And most millennials right now in their 30s. And down below that, you got younger than that, you got Gen Z, Generation Z, which are basically 15, 16 years old to 25. And goodness gracious, I've been talking about the Alpha generation for 10, 15 years here, but they were just babies. The Alpha generation is now turning 15, 16 years old. And the key with managing the generations, and think about this, whether it's education, whether it's the military, whatever, when you have multi-generations, the key that Toyota taught us, and I've published a lot about this, is that if you don't know the difference between each generation, because if each is motivated differently, and each of them you have to manage differently, different reward systems, ways of managing and stuff. And I've literally, and there's lots on my YouTube channel, which is Greg Meakin YouTube. But I've talked extensively about managing the generations because it's a fluid thing. As I say, the little Gen Zs, the Alpha, I used to call them the Alpha babies because they were in diapers. Now they're 15, 16 years old entering the workplace. And I've been watching them for a long time, and it's still, the jury's out. We don't know how these generations are going to turn out. But in looking to, especially the youngers, the Gen Zs and the Alphas, these are the folks, these are the kids that we're really concerned about, of course, which direction are they going to take. Millennials and even younger get a bad reputation in a lot of ways. And I think there's a lot of truth to it, that they maybe don't have the work ethic of their previous generations and they're motivated differently, yada, yada. But I think there's also two sides of that and two sides of every generation, including the Zs and the Alphas. And that's what I've kind of been analyzing. And if anyone, honestly, on stuff like that, anyone, including in the chat, that wants to chit chat about the generations and how different they are and how different it is to manage them, feel free to opine, as they say. Let me go just a quick example on that, though. Quick example. Let's just talk Generation X for a second. Generation X, I have a son, Gen X, who's turned 44 years old. Goodness, Tanner in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But at Gen X, I say jokingly that Generation X right now, because they used to be the little youngsters, remember? They're running the world right now. They're, for the most part, in their 40s and 50s. When I say they're running the world, and for the most part, some of the major positions in business and everything else, they're running the home fronts. Barack Obama was our first Gen X president. So new era. And Gen X, but it's very, very interesting. I love working with Gen X. I'm even dialing it into saying there's a difference between Gen X males and Gen X females. Maybe that's for a future article or radio show down the road. But Gen X, they're an amazing generation in that I call them the cynical generation. They they're in their 40s and the 50s, and they have witnessed the implosion of sacred institutions, whether it's banks, banks, major corporations, blue chip corporations, just the media. They watch the implosion of really their world as they knew it with older folks, because they were raised by their boomer parents or grandparents, senior grandparents. And I find them, as I say, the cynical generation. They were not raised from birth with technology. That's what's kind of cool. Most Gen Xers were not introduced to technology, if you remember, going back till they were probably anywhere from 8 years old to maybe early teens, and they immersed themselves in technology, and for the most part, they're completely versed and fluent, muscle memory on technology. However, they weren't raised with it. So what I do say is, as far as Gen X goes, I see them having a responsibility. And I had a long chat with Sheriff Lamb about this, Sheriff Mark Lamb. His theory at the time was that Gen X dropped the ball a little bit. Gen X dropped the ball in passing on the culture, as I say, 1950s handshake world, the culture of our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, onto the younger generations, including millennials and Zs. There was a disconnect there. As I say, that was a first for me, hearing Sheriff Lamb saying that Gen X could have done a better job communicating to the younger generations. That said, what do we all do right now is to be aware that the different age groups are going to be really impacting our world. Again, Gen Z, millennials and Gen Z are going to be the leaders real soon in politics. So it's good to pay attention to it. It's good to get research and knowledge about it. There's lots of stuff out there in the generations, but I always do like to bring that up because and there's so much to talk about there. My favorite one was how to motivate. I love this with Toyota. How to motivate older folks, seniors and older boomers. And it was so wonderful with employees in the workplace. There are a lot of seniors now that are in the workplace, whether it's shuttle drivers or goodness greeters at Walmart. There's a story on that. But there's seniors in the workplace. And the most fun thing about working with seniors is they were so easy to work with. They showed up on time, usually early. They took direction. They did their job wonderfully, and they didn't want anything in return but just an attaboy, a pat on the back, or just them wanting to feel comfortable within the business, almost like a family thing and stuff. So it was wonderful managing older folks like that, and it's important to know the difference because you can't manage a senior generation person like a Gen Z. So again, show for another day, full show, whatever. This could be forever and ever. But I do encourage feedback about the generations. What are the challenges for everyone? The military dealing with generations, HR issues, of business out there, even local communities and stuff. We all got multi-generations involved. So again, be aware and see what we can learn about each other. I think there's too much preaching to the choir these days. We've heard it's a cliche, but it's so true. with how divided the world's gotten now with Republican, Democrats, whatever, divisive. I really do think that we're losing our ability to just kind of understand each other a little bit more. And again, understand that I keep coming back to the generations, but boy, it is sure nice when you get to see multi-generations coming together like a good old Sunday Thanksgiving dinner in the old days with grandma, where the whole family gets together. And once again, you come to common ground on things you agree with. I think people agree with 80% of stuff in the world. We love family. We love our safety and health and all that stuff. It's just the 20% big mouths on both sides that get us so divided. So there you go. Anything in the chat here. It's so fun to see Val, every boomer and senior who gives their priceless and precious time through mentorship. Mentorship and time is really, really important. Thank you on that, Val, because I think especially a lot of younger people, and young men out there, they don't have any leadership. They don't have any mentors. They got this media and social media, regular alphabet network media and social media to draw from. And I encourage, as I say, whether it's Gen X men, baby boomer men, there's lots of us out there. Let's teach the younger generation. Let's get behind a mic, and welcome into the fold of grown-ups. And I keep saying it though, 1950s handshake world where we really did trust each other, and we knew each other, we trusted each other. Again, pros and cons of every generation, but I really do look forward to an era where we do work closer together like that. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. That's great. Dave and Phoenix, is great to see you in the house. So if there's anyone that's got any generation chat, it'd be great. Let me touch base with where you can find some of my work. Again, my website's gregmeakin.com, and that's GREG, as you see on the screen, GREGMEAKIN.com. I have a YouTube channel, and this will be rebroadcast on YouTube. The previous show, kind of the pilot show that James McCormick and I did, is on my YouTube channel, and that's YouTube at Greg Meakin. Again, this will be replatformed up there probably in the next day or two. So really look forward to that stuff. I'm going to jump, if I can. How fun is this? Because I can't go. I'm going to jump into politics for a second. When I say no politics, no solar eclipses, no politics. I have a lot of friends that are Democrats and liberals. And I don't really hear from them much anymore. Remember how loud they were during the, oh goodness gracious, from 2015, 2016 and on. And I have a lot of Democrat and liberal friends, and it's been a real frustrating 3 years for most of us out there that we're Trump supporters and indeed want to see him elected in November. But we now have it's now an era we can compare track records into the 4 years that Trump was in office, track records into the 3 years that Biden was involved. We'll do that after the break. But thank you so much for tuning into Maga Matters on the American Media Network.
Hi, I'm Noreen Leary, CEO of the Veterans Guest House. Guest House is a home away from home for our veterans and their families who travel to Reno for medical care. Our house is more than just a warm bed. It's a place of camaraderie where veterans can find support and long-lasting friends. We serve veterans, men and women, young and old, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard, and Air Force. Wherever they hail from and whatever their circumstance, the Veterans Guest House is ready to support them. The reason we feel so strongly about our mission is that we know that many veterans would forgo their medical treatments because they simply can't afford the accommodations. The Guest House is one of a kind in the country, funded entirely through private donations. Want to know how you can help? There are many ways you can be involved, from volunteering, providing dinners, or supplying items from our wish list. Find out more about the Guest House at www.veteransguesthouse.org. Serving veterans today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Can you define the 4 different parts of Medicare? Do you have Medicare prescription drug gap coverage? At Nevada Senior Advisors, we will walk through the different parts of Medicare, including Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, Part D prescription drug plans to help you determine which option is right for you. Visit nvsenioradvisors.com, call 775-674-2223 to set up an appointment. Nevada Senior Advisors is not affiliated with or endorsed by the federal Medicare program or any other government agency. Calling this number will direct you to a licensed sales agent.
Barbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen, would like to thank every customer for your loyalty and continued support through these challenging times. Call for takeout and delivery of rib tips, brisket, ahi, tuna, roasted veggies, and much more. Barbecue's open from 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and delivers hot food safe and healthy. Call 499-5855 for details. 499-5855 Barbecue, as featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Get real. Get into Barbecue Reno.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Maga Matters with Greg Meakin. Finished off before the break, and this is kind of fun. Where's the time going? It's a quarter till the hour right now. I just cannot wait to be back. I can't wait to be back. This is kind of a first go round after our pilot show a few weeks ago, and first go around with American Matters. I absolutely love this network. I love the people with this network. Eddie Floyd salutes, man. Shout out to you. Okay, for some of my listeners or readers that wouldn't know this, Eddie Floyd is, I'll say it too, he's a war hero. He's the founder of this network, American Matters Media, and he's a Vietnam vet. He is a Medal of Honor winner. And he's also the nicest guy in the world. Like I say, I feel like I've known him for 50 years. But Eddie, here's the secret from the inside. Eddie Floyd is a car guy. He's a car guy. Goodness gracious. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a car guy. I actually wrote a book about the auto industry way back in 1991 called Secrets from the Inside, How to Buy a New Car Below Dealer Cost. A little bit of trivia here. That's that red book that you see above me here. Secrets from the Inside, How to Buy a New Car Below the Dealer Cost. And that was before the internet. And I taught people that buying a car doesn't need to be a fight. It doesn't need to be have enemies, a combative experience, etc. You can get a great deal from good people, etc. And as it turns out, that book is more applicable now, 30 years later. But Eddie Floyd, he is a car guy, and he's owned dealerships. I really look forward to catching up more with him, like around a campfire and talking old car guy talk. I'll tell you what, we're one in a million. If you've been in the auto industry and you're back from the 70s, 80s, or whatever, we're one in a million. We've got stories. Thanks so much to Shanimal. I love that name, Shanimal, which I learned was Shannon, who was a football player, tough guy. So we call his nickname was Shanimal. I love that. That's another story. That's another conversation for another day.
Hey, Greg, your show's going great.
Thank you.
Are we confused with Eddie Floyd, the car dealer, or Eddie Floyd, the radio owner?
Eddie Floyd, I guess he's a car guy, the radio owner, man. He's a car guy. Yeah, it's great. It's just great to be on here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. You're doing a great job, Greg.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, Lady J, and from the last producer, last time was Brian Shaddix. These are all great people at American Matters Media. I love your format here, the way you have multi-platforms, but of course you're terrestrial at 93.7 Nevada, but the Facebook streaming works really, really well. My readers and listeners like that because it's easy. So, and again, a nice active chat and stuff. So thank you so much. And before I digress, as we're running down in time here, but before the break, I mentioned my dear Democrat and liberal friends. God love them. My favorite question to a real rabid Democrat, I say rabid Democrat, that's a great word, is this. It's my favorite question. It's this. Now we've seen Trump and we've seen Biden. My question is this. Okay. of the, let's just say, 100 or more Donald Trump quantifiable accomplishments or historic milestones, which of those, maybe two or three, do you like the most? And most of the time, the answer I get is none. Good, none. Zero. In 4 years, zero accomplished. And, I play dumb. Everybody knows I'm dumb as a fox in a lot of ways. But I say, oh, that's weird. No, zero accomplishments for Trump. That's weird because I loved being energy independent. In the 1960s and 70s, we had to recycle and drive cars with cheap gas and going to really in pursuit of energy independence. We had it. And of course, with one executive order, it went away. Another conversation. But I love my energy to independence. I love the fact that that 6 Middle East countries came together in the Abraham Accords and quote peace, working peace, including with Israel at the time. I love that. That was great because we never knew real peace in the Middle East. I loved. Here's my favorite. I love that he made it a felony to be cruel to animals. I love that because I love animals. And loved, I think he felonized the abusive spouses and prison reform. I loved prison reform. I love that where there were so many people who were doing nonviolent crimes, majority Black folks, were doing nonviolent crimes and were in jail for years, if not decades. And people might remember that era. I wrote about it extensively in my book, Why I Came to America and What I Think Now. That was the Kim Kardashian era where they did prison reform. And it's really what good freedom-loving constitutionalists and libertarians would like is why keep people incarcerated for nonviolent crimes for the most part? And can we look at a different, really more active way of, quote, rehabilitation? But for those folks, again, I don't want to run out of time. I was so frustrated at one point of people just trashing Trump. We've heard it all for years and years and years, and those people are silent now. And I finally, I'm a writer. I write essays about kind of cutting edge pieces. And I wrote an article about this, and this went back to 2020. So I wrote this 4 years ago. I'm not going to read the article right now, but it's called 10 Reasons You Ain't No Donald Trump. Okay. Now remember, this is directed to my Democrat friends, my liberal friends. And I had it here because I thought it would just be so fun. And it was a whole article. It is on my website, gregmeakin.com, but it was this. And I'm just going to read you overall the list here. For you true Trump haters who virtue signal your superiority to him or personal disdain for him, imagine that. I put together a quick Greg's list, that's what I call them, Greg's list, of why you ain't no Donald Trump. Number one, he works 20 hours a day. If you work less than 20 hours a day or don't work at all, you ain't no Donald Trump. Number two, he has donated 100% of his salary. Oh God, I love this. I love hearing people that say he can afford it. Many politicians are independently wealthy, so why don't they donate their salary too? If you don't donate your entire paycheck or a portion of your paycheck to the government, then you ain't no Donald Trump. Number four, he's a billionaire. I love this. So what if it's 3 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, whatever? If you're not a billionaire, you ain't no Donald Trump. Number five, he became president of the United States, and you didn't. I love that one. And you're laughing at my own work. That's great. Here's my next one, which I really like. He has the gift of daily reset. He has the gift of daily reset and compartmentalizing. Sorry about my glasses here. This is rare. No matter what has happened the day before, Donald Trump wakes up, resets, and tackles the day fresh. If you don't do this, you ain't no Donald Trump. Number seven, he's a really smart businessman. And if you actually debate this, you are delusional and you ain't no Donald Trump. Number eight, he has a genuine and affable side. He really does. Ask anyone who has met him, including the Queen of England. And Captain James McCormick is a friend of his. He has a genuine and affable side. And number 10, this means more to me 4 years after I first wrote this. Again, I wrote this in 2024. Number 10, he fights back and never quits. In this category, believe me, you ain't no Donald Trump. Any other human being would have folded like a cheap suit rather than fight off the daily attacks coming from the left. And that was 4 years ago, before the word lawfare was ever invented. So goodness, I went off on that, but that's an example of just how I like to approach things. I don't like copy paste stuff of things that are just the same old stories all the time. I like inside edgy information, the secret scoop. Don't tell me just the headline news. Tell me what the inside scoop is. Again, that's why I say I really look forward to conversations down the road with, again, the Captain James McCormicks, the Eddie Floyds, the Sheriff Mark Lambs, and a number of other folks that will bring in, because it's interesting. It's nice when it's interesting. The cool thing about radio, and this is what I always found, I've done radio for over 30 years, but the cool thing about radio is hopefully it's what nobody expects. You don't know expect what they're going to say. And in every radio show I've done, I never expect what I'm going to say. And that's what's good about it. I always bring news, good stuff, whether it's that top 10 about Donald Trump, but even the folks that I know who know Trump, there's stuff that they didn't know about that one. My favorite one that I forgot is that he is abstinent. If you have ever had a drop of alcohol or smoked a cigarette, you ain't no Donald Trump. And I still can't believe that side to him and that commitment to him basically abstaining and stuff. It's a very, very healthy thing to do, and that's why I think he runs circle around a lot of folks. So it has been absolutely a fabulous show. The folks in the chat, I'll tell you what, it is so cool. The passion that's out there in the world, because this is, as I've said this before, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen the grease fire that our country is. I've never seen anything that comes out of the media like it does. Never seen politicians like this. And I think a lot of older folks like me agree. Can we fix it? Can we change it? My answer, just like Mike Holmes, early today, I listened to him. Is great. His news show, great. Mike, basically paraphrasing, said it's time to choose positive over negative, glasses half full over naysaying. And I so believe that. And I believe that if this is an era that we can actually start thinking that way, because I do believe, can we fix this mess? Yes. Maybe not the whole thing, maybe not 100% of it. But as they say, we can take a chunk out of the bear. We can take a bite out of the bear and get things back on track starting November 6th. And what I say to my Democrat friends, God love you. I can't believe I'm going so edgy here. My Democrat friends, the day after the election, are you going to accept the results of the election? Are you going to accept the results of the election? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for an absolutely amazing show. Please log on to my website, gregmeakin.com. Peek at my YouTube channel, which is at Greg Meakin. God love you, everybody.
Pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?